In the year 309 Hijri, Ibn Faḍlān, an ambassador for the Caliph of Baghdād, was dispatched on a diplomatic mission. Along the way, he encountered some Vikings. It's the earliest known account of them. This is how he described them. I have never seen more perfect physical specimens. They are tall as date palms, fair and ruddy, and the men dress in a garment that covers one side of the body but leaves one hand free. Axe, sword, and knife are carried by each guy, always close at hand. Like the Frankish swords, theirs has a broad blade with grooves. They are the filthiest of Allah's creatures. They don't wash themselves after defecating, not after urinating. They don't wash themselves after sex. They don't wash their hands after eating. Rather, they're like stray donkeys, and they gather in one house 10, 20, less or more. Everyone has a bed for him to sit on. With them are beautiful slave girls for the merchants. One has intercourse with his slave girl, and his friend looks at him. A group of them may gather in this state in each other's shoes. A merchant enters to purchase from one of them a slave girl, and comes across him having intercourse with her. He doesn't pull out until he's satisfied. Every day without fail, they wash their faces and heads with the filthiest of water there is, the dirtiest. That is, every morning a slave girl brings breakfast and a large basin of water. She offers it to her lord. He washes his hands and face. He washes his hair and detangles it with a comb in the basin, then blows his nose and spits in it, and performs every other dirty act imaginable in that water. When he no longer has a need for it, the slave girl carries the basin to whoever is next to him, who does similar to what his friend did, until she's given the basin one by one to everyone in the house. And every one of them blows their nose, spits, and washes their hair and face in it. If one of them becomes unwell, the others will set up a tent for him far away from them and lay him in it. They give him some bread and water, but they don't approach him or communicate with him. Particularly if he is a slave or a poor guy, they do not even visit him throughout the entirety of his illness. If he gets better, he returns to them. If he passes away, they burn him. If he is a slave, they leave him in his current location where dogs and raptors will eat him. When they capture a thief or bandit, they take him to a large tree, tie a heavy rope around his neck, and hang him there until the wind and rain cause him to crumble to pieces. They are obsessed with wine, drink it night and day, and one of them may die, the goblet in his hand. When a distinguished man passes away, his family members inquire of his female and young slave girls, asking, "Who among you will accompany him in death?" Once this pledge is made, it becomes irrevocable, and there is no possibility of turning back. And if that's desired, they're not left alone, and most who do this are the slave girls. When the day arrived for the man and slave girl to be cremated in the boat, I made my way to the riverside where his boat was, and the slave girl that wanted to be killed was coming and going, dome to dome from their domes, and the owner of each dome has intercourse with her, and says to her, "Tell your master, the man who died and once owned her, that I only did this out of love for you." It has been reported that the Vikings conducted frequent raids on both Muslim and Christian territories within the Iberian Peninsula. Over time, a group of Vikings settled in southeast Seville and embraced Islam. They gained renown for their production of cheese, which became a sought-after commodity in Córdoba and Seville. It is said they highly valued pork. Even those who had converted to Islam aspired to it and were very fond of pork. In 2015, archaeologists conducting research observed the discovery of a woman's burial site from the 9th century. Among the artifacts found was a silver ring adorned with a purple stone. Experts identified an Arabic inscription on it, which read, "For Allah."